I spent February of 2025 volunteering on a farm in the south of China. As you can imagine, it was an amazing experience, and I want to share it with you. The place I volunteered at is called Tianyuanbang, and I was warmly welcomed by the founder to come stay with him and his family for a month. Tianyuanbang is an organic and biodynamic farm-based education center, and I'll go into much more detail about it in a different video. My volunteering duties varied widely. Sometimes I was simply doing household chores like cleaning, washing dishes, or doing laundry. Sometimes I was working on the farm, and sometimes I was supervising and playing with kids. In this video, I want to focus on my experience with the kids and a little bit about life and work on the farm. Before coming to Tianyuanbang, I didn't realize how much I'd be working with children, but I was quickly thrown into the deep end with a 5-day overnight camp with 6 kids all around the age of 8. During the camp, the children had activities related to the farm, where they got to see and participate in the process of food going from the ground to their plate. So they dug, foraged, prepared, cooked, and cleaned up. One day they prepared and cooked an entire meal for themselves and the teachers. Apart from that, they made some special desserts or snacks, like these fruitcakes. Another day, they dug potatoes and made chips. As someone who had previously had very little experience with young children, it was terrifying to see their tiny little fingers using knives to clumsily cut potatoes. But seeing the teachers' confidence in them and how they always encouraged the kids to be independent, learn from their mistakes, and to figure out things by themselves made me relax a bit and see the importance of letting kids do their thing. We also used cassava root to make bubble tea, and here you can see the kids preparing tangyuan for the Lantern Festival. Tangyuan are sweet, round, glutinous rice balls, and while I tasted them before and wasn't a huge fan, being part of the preparation from scratch and eating it on a festival day with kids that had been waiting all day for it made them the perfect dessert. Another thing we did more than once was cut and prepare sugarcane to make juice, sugar, and tang hu lu. It was cool seeing the kids half working, half playing throughout the whole process. And as someone coming from Ireland where we don't have sugarcane, I felt so excited to make all these delicious products and to see how simple it can be. My job was basically to supervise the kids, speak English if they wanted, and to play with them. As I said, I didn't have much experience with kids, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself a kid person. But it turned out to be a very rewarding experience. Actually, it kind of gave me a chance to embrace my inner child. I played tag, running around the garden, not worrying about getting dirt on my clothes or under my nails. I used my imagination to entertain the kids or to play along with their games. And it was such a magical place to do that in. I thought about how much I would have loved to be in a place like that when I was young, when I had an imagination that could turn a garden into a jungle, and I felt so happy for those kids that they got to experience that. I was really impressed with the kids, not only with how independent, albeit uncoordinated they were when cooking and gardening, but also their ideas and understanding of the world. One night, when gathered around a campfire, the teacher started a discussion about artificial intelligence, and I was really moved by what the kids had to say.
你说，如果我们一直 使用人工智能的话，那说不定以后我们会越来越懒得思考，然后一切都被人工智能掌控。而且，如果我们自己想的话，可能会激发自己的潜力。虽然能带来便利，但它也会给我们带来意外。就是我妈妈之前看过，老师你在听吗？我在听啊，就在思考。我妈妈之前看过。
I think being in this curious, playful mode is what led me to pluck up the courage to do a backflip on the trampoline. I did gymnastics until I was about 16, so backflips used to be second nature to me. But after not doing them for almost a decade and losing the strength and flexibility I once had, I realized it's actually quite terrifying to just blindly jump and throw yourself backwards, hoping that muscle memory will kick in. But thankfully it did, after 20 minutes of dithering, and I was rewarded with a wave of euphoria and pride that made my day. The farm is, of course, full of life, with geese, 2 cows, 2 goats, 1 elusive cat, 1 perfect dog, plus the neighbor's dog that often snuck in. Of course, like humans, some of these animals left a deeper impression on me than others. This is Tangyuan. Yes, Tangyuan, like the glutinous rice balls I just mentioned. When I first met her, it was clear that she was a bit of a messer. She kept jumping up and charging at Dodo, who bravely stood her ground. I was pretty scared though. I'm not used to dealing with ghosts. I don't know how strong they are or how painful their headbutts are. As it turns out, not that much, but you never know. And by the end of the month, I had overcome my apprehension, more or less. And it was only in my last week that I heard her incredible origin story. Apparently, one day, a family was coming to Tianyuanbang, and while stuck in traffic on a busy road, they saw a baby goat fall out of a vehicle up ahead of them, which quickly drove off without realizing. The family decided to take the goat to the farm with them, where she stayed ever since. But the real star of the farm was Dodo, the best dog in the world.
Dodo?
Beautiful, poised, protective, she's the perfect mascot for Tianyuanbang. Even timid kids who are scared of dogs eventually come around to her. And even a city baby, still discovering the world, eventually felt comfortable giving her his first pet, which I luckily got to witness. While staying at the main location of Tianyuanbang, I spent a lot of time with Shuijing. She lived in the room right next door, so we greeted each other every morning with a friendly zao. A city girl turned nature lover, she was the one who gave me most of my tasks. She also prepared all the meals that we shared. I got used to looking forward to a delicious sweet potato and this creamy drink of blended millet every morning, and every now and then a big perfect bowl of dumplings that really hit the spot. She also prepared most lunches, which was always such a highlight of my day. And I remember one night I was downstairs having a call with some friends, and knowing I hadn't had dinner, she silently brought me bananas and chocolate. It was very touching. I think not getting to choose my food made me appreciate it even more. And I got to try a lot of new things, and I took notes too, hoping to recreate them sometime in the future myself.
哦，蒸是吧？
这个啊。
Of course, a big part of my volunteering duties was farm work. This is something I'd never done before, and I was very excited about. Of course, some jobs were nicer than others. For example, I preferred tasks like harvesting herbs and planting ginger over shoveling cow dung into a wheelbarrow while being attacked by ants. But overall, I loved being outside and seeing the landscape of the farm change and being part of the transformation. I helped cut down trees, witnessed the land being ploughed, then helped Gojia fertilize the land with the aforementioned cow dung, for it to then become a place where we plant ginger. For the most part, Guojie was the person I did most of the farm work with. A very sweet, patient woman who I thoroughly enjoyed chatting with as much as I could with my limited Chinese. She'd take the cows and Tangyuan out of their shed before 8 a.m, get to work without any distraction except maybe a little sugarcane break, and go back home in the evenings. There was also Tudo Laoshi, who I didn't have much contact with, but would also always greet me in the morning with a friendly hello, and was always hanging around, trimming hedges, cutting firewood, fixing things, or teaching. During this time, I was still working on my master's degree online. At times, it was very stressful. I didn't really know at the beginning how to manage my time between my volunteering duties and study. But with time, I got into a routine. And while I would have liked to have my time off just to relax, it was quite nice to work outside with such a beautiful view and atmosphere. Aside from working and studying, there were so many moments of fun and excitement during my stay. For example, I saw a lot of fireworks. I've seen fireworks plenty of times in my life, but always from afar. There's something so special about setting off fireworks, whether they're small little firecrackers or big ones you have to flee from, especially when surrounded by kids, full of a mix of fear and awe. As I said, I spent a lot of my time outdoors and could be pulled into a game of tag or duck duck goose at any moment. I realized in my normal life, in a day, there's sedentary time and there's active time, and they're separated by an internal pep talk, a complete outfit change, and a shower to follow. But on the farm, moments of activity were interwoven throughout the day. And I don't know, maybe I'm just over-romanticizing it by now, but it felt like life made a bit more sense like that and was more, I don't know, natural. And once I felt more settled, I was able to make myself at home a bit. I took advantage of the swings and the trampoline, as I mentioned, as well as the piano and ukulele. Anyway, that's all from me for now, but in the next video I'll share more about the people I stayed with and more insights on living in rural China. Hopefully I'll see you there.
Wow! 搞笑吗？我也试一下，我试一下你教我的方法。好像没有成功是吧？成功了吗？
没有。
不能笑，不能笑。
加油！耶耶！
20了吧？哎呀！OK。OK。哇！你是多少？26。哈哈。哎呀，嘟嘟都脏了，嘟嘟我不会摸你的。嘟嘟，出来。
然后他很开心。
鸟很害怕。
对。
好手，哎，出来了，出来了，哎。
哦。耶！嘟嘟，过来，过来，过来。是这个猪鸡。 Hello. Hello.